This conference will now be recorded.
Good afternoon, everyone. In this session, I'm concentrating on the mobile IoT platform, that is Blink, then the cloud service platform, ThinkSpeak. Then afterwards, I'm moving towards the one of the important protocol, that is MQTT, Message Queuing Telemetry Transport Protocol. Blink application. What is Blink? Blink is one of the most popular mobile app for IoT. With the help of this platform, okay, it is platform with iPhone operating system, Android apps. With the help of this platform, we can control n number of microcontrollers like Node MCU, Arduino, Raspberry Pi over the internet. It's a digital dashboard. Okay, as you see at the right side, this is the digital dashboard of Blink app. It's a digital dashboard where you can build a graphical interface for your project by simply dragging and dropping the widgets. Okay, we are going to call by the name widgets. Simply we can drag and drop the widgets to your respective project. How it works? This is the at the Blink app. Here I have taken iPhone and this is the Android mobile, and it is going to support both the operating system, the Blink app, and we can connect to the n number of hardware devices like Arduino, Node MCU, Raspberry Pi over the Blink server. How it connects? Through Ethernet, through Wi-Fi, through Bluetooth, through serial USB. Okay, what are all the devices are supporting? Arduino, Energia, that is nothing but MSP 430, Particle, ARM, Node MCU, Raspberry Pi. Okay, in this session, I'm more concentrating on the Node MCU microcontroller. Okay, these are the widgets available under the Blink app. Controllers, you have the a button, slide bar, timer, joystick. In order to display the message, we'll have the a different display unit. We'll have the LCD, we'll have the gauge, we'll have the LED button. In order to send the notification, you can have the social network like a Twitter, we'll have the mail, and even you can go for a bridge. Okay, what are all the pros and cons under the Blink app? It's easy and simple. Many features are available in the Blink app. No additional hardware is needed. It's a cool graphical interface user will have, and active community. Cons: lack of documentation for some devices, not made to implement complex projects, can't make own widgets. Okay, which are all the widgets available within the Blink? You can use that one. You don't have the additional widgets to add to this particular Blink server. Okay, we'll start the project. Okay, here I will take the DHT sensor. With the help of a DHT sensor, I will display the temperature and humidity using a Blink app. You can download the Blink app in iPhone or in the Android mobile. First, you should sign in using your mail ID. Okay, display like this Blink app. In order to store a Blink app in Android mobile, you should go to the Play Store and you should search. Okay, like this, we'll get the Blink app. Then afterwards, you should install this Blink app. Then finally, you will get like this. After downloading the Blink app in your mobile with your respective mail ID, how to install Blink library in Arduino IDE? In order to install Blink library in Arduino IDE, first you should go to the sketch, then afterwards select include library. In the include library, select manage library. After selecting the manage library, okay, you should wait for the certain time because it is going to upload the previous libraries what you have installed in the Arduino IDE. Then you should search for Blink. Okay, after typing a Blink, you will get, okay, you should download this one, Blink by Volodymyr Shamansky, version 0.5.0 installed in my Arduino IDE tool, and you can download the latest version, then afterwards you can install. Okay, in my laptop it is disabled because already I have installed my Blink app, Blink library to the Arduino IDE. In Arduino IDE, you should install the Blink library. In your mobile, you should download the Blink app. After installing the Blink library to your respective Arduino IDE, it will show in the example section. You should scroll down. Okay, in the example section, you will get the Blink library. After installing the library, Blink library in the Arduino IDE. Next, I will move towards the code section. In the code section, after installing the Blink library in your Arduino IDE, okay, first I should initialize the libraries in order to send the sensor data. In this example, I am taking the sensor data. Okay, the scenario is like this. Okay, this is the DHT sensor. I am going to measure the temperature and humidity values from the DHT sensor. Then the sensor data will be sent to the node MCU. Then with the help of a ESP8266, I will send the two parameters, temperature and humidity parameters, to the Blink app through Blink server. Okay, first I will go through the code. In the first section, you should initialize the libraries. What are all the libraries you are using in this particular example? Okay, you need SPI. SPI stands for a serial peripheral interface in order to send the data between node MCU to the DHT sensor. Then ESP8266 Wi-Fi model, because within Node MCU will have the ESP8266 Wi-Fi model. With the help of this Wi-Fi model, you are sending a two parameters, temperature and humidity, from Node MCU to the Blink server. And I'm taking the Blink simple ESP8266.h. This library, it has to initialize the Blink server. Then lead a two important the libraries DST and the Adafruit sensor in order to fetch the two values, temperature and humidity, with the help of Node MCU. Then afterwards you should get the authentication key. Okay, first I will go through the initial step. After downloading the Blink app in your mobile, first you should select new project. Then the project name, I am considering it as a temperature monitoring. Then after selecting the project name temperature monitoring, in the choose device section I should select Node MCU. Okay, I should Node MCU. Then I'm clicking on OK button. You will get the Node MCU, and the connection type is Wi-Fi. Okay, these are all the fields you should select. Means first you should give the project name, then afterwards you should choose the device. In this example, I have taken the Node MCU microcontroller. For that reason, I have chosen the Node MCU microcontroller, and the connection type is Wi-Fi. Then you should click on the create. After clicking on the create button, it will send the token key to your respective mail ID. In my case, I have sent the token to my official mail ID. Then I am clicking on OK button. As you see here, you will get the authentication token for your project. Okay, this is the authentication token. Means the purpose of having this authentication token, it will be acts like a API, application programming interface key, API key, in order to use the Blink app. Okay, the Blink application provider, they will provide the authentication token key in order to use the graphical user interface related to the Blink app. Then you should copy this authentication token key, copy this one, and you should paste in the authentication token. Okay, next, after getting the authentication token, okay, I should mention the Wi-Fi credential. Okay, here I'm connecting the Node MCU and my laptop connected to the respective username. That is my mobile hotspot I have connected. The username is Ravitej and password here I have provided. After providing the Wi-Fi credential, then you should assign the PIN number. to which pin number you are connecting between the temperature sensor, that is the DHT22 temperature sensor, to node MCU. In my case, I am connecting the signal pin to the D5 pin. D5 is nothing but it's having a GPIO number 14. And in the previous session, we have discussed we'll have the three different types of varieties of DHT sensors are available. It may be the DHT11, it may be the DHT22, or it may be the DHT21. Okay, in this example, I have preferred DHT22. You should define it. Hash define the type of the DHT sensor. Here I have taken DHT22. Then I should assign the respective the DHT pin number. Here I have taken the GPIO pin number 14 and which type of a DHT type I have considered. In my case, I have taken the DHT22. Next, in order to read the datas, we will have the two parameters. With the help of a DHT sensor, I am recovering two parameters. One is humidity value, another one is temperature value. Okay, this is the instruction we are using to fetch the humidity and temperature. That is, I am storing in a variable and I have taken the data type float. Float h is equal to dht dot read humidity. Another one, the float type t is equal to dht dot read temperature. Then afterwards, I am going to print in the serial monitor the temperature value with a I have taken variable T, temperature in terms of a degree Celsius. Then I am going to consider the humidity value with a variable where I have saved the after reading the humidity value from the sensor data H in terms of a percentage. Then I should mention, because I am taken only a single pin to fetch the data, but in order to represent temperature and humidity in Blink app, I am taking the virtual pins. In order to display the humidity value, I should consider the virtual pin number 6. In order to display the temperature value, I have taken a virtual pin number 5. And in the word setup, as we know, we should initialize that one. First, I have to initialize with a baud rate 9600. Then I should begin with a Wi-Fi authentication, that is the authentication with SSID and the password. Then I should initialize the DHT sensor with DHT.begin, and I'm sending the sensor value with the interval 1000L. And in the while loop session, I'm running the Blink app. Okay, first, as you know, in the Blink app, these are all the widgets are available. Okay, in my case, I want to display the value. One, temperature value, another one is humidity value. First, I'm clicking on the widget value display. Then I'm clicking on this particular button and I should represent, I'm reading the parameter temperature. Temp, I will take temp and I should select the virtual pin. In the example program, have taken virtual pin number 5 for temperature measurement. That's why I will take V5, virtual pin V5, and I'm clicking on that one. And I should have the range also. Maximum I will take 100. Then I'm clicking, then I will go to back button. Okay, it is displaying temp with a virtual pin number 5. Next, once again, I will take one more widget in order to display the humidity value. Humidity with a virtual pin number 6. See here, in the previous case I have used the pin number 5 for temperature measurement. That's why it is showing V5 used. Now I am selecting V6 and I am taking the maximum range 100. Then I will go to the back button. Now it is displaying temperature with a virtual pin number 5 for temperature measurement and virtual pin number 6 for humidity measurement. Next, I will go to the code section. In the code section, I have provided the SSID. Okay, you should be very much careful. Have you provided the authentication token key or not? You will get in the respective mail ID what you have provided while registering the Blink app in your mobile. There you will get the authentication token. I have copied that one and pasted it here. Then afterwards you should mention the SSID because the node MCU should be connected to the Wi-Fi. That's why here I have provided the Wi-Fi credentials. Then you should provide the pin number to which GPIO pin number you are connecting between sensor to the node MCU. Then afterwards which type of a DHT sensor you are using. In this example I have taken the DHT22. Okay, and the remaining you will have to fetch the humidity value. You should consider dht.read humidity. In order to fetch the temperature value, you should consider the instruction dht.read temperature. Then I am running this code. First tool, in the tool menu, select the respective board. In my case, I am using the Node MCU ESP12E model. Then is it selected the COM port or not? We should cross check it. Then afterwards verify the code. Okay, after completing the compilation, then you should select the upload. In the program notification area, okay, this is the status bar where you will get are you compiling it or are you uploading it. It will show. In the program notification area, it will tell the percentage of uploaded. Then observe it carefully. Now in the Blink app, you will get the temperature value. The temperature value will get around 29.9 degrees Celsius and the humidity value will get around 62.7%. Even additionally, you can add some more widgets like, okay, now one scenario I will take. I want to control the Blink app. In that case, if the temperature, if it is crosses greater than the 25 degrees Celsius, it should send notification to my mail that, okay, temperature is high. Okay, for that reason, first I will click on the plus sign, that is the modulo. Then I want to send the notification. First, I should click on the email, to which email I should send the notification. Okay, here I have provided my mail ID. Then afterwards, I should click on one more widget with the name eventer. Here in this example, I am creating one event. If temperature is greater than 25 degrees Celsius, it should send notification to me with a subject temperature is high. And V5, the virtual pin number 5 is connected to temperature. Then afterwards I'm clicking on that one, adding an event when. Here I have taken V5 temperature. In my case, I have taken virtual pin number 5 as a temperature. Then when temperature V5 is higher than 25 degrees Celsius, then it should send mail that temperature is high. Temperature is high. An event is created when temperature is greater than 25 degrees Celsius. It should send a message that temperature is high. Now observe it carefully. Now I am running this one more time. Now I am getting temperature 27 degrees Celsius. After event is created, now see here, event is triggered, then it is sending a message, a temperature is high. Okay, these are all the important facilities available in the mobile IoT platform. That's why see the widgets. First, initially I have taken the display. With the help of a display widget, I have displayed the temperature and humidity value. Then afterwards, I have taken the notification widget, mail ID, and have created a eventer. In the eventer, if the temperature is greater than 25 degrees Celsius, it should send a message that temperature is high through the mail. Okay, next I will move towards the ThingSpeak. Okay, what do you mean by ThingSpeak? A ThingSpeak, when building an IoT applications, the cloud part where all the information from sensors is to be stored are very much important one, because in a IoT you should sense the data, then you should store the data, then you should process it, and you should analyze that particular data. That is what we are going to call by the name IoT. There are many cloud services that can collect IoT data, but the fundamental issue here is that the Internet of Things does not have the standard set of open APIs for consumers. In some of the cases, we are using the cloud services where it's very much difficult for the users to store the data and visualize it here. In that case, ThingSpeak is the one of the cloud service. It acts as a very much important role. There, what happens? It will provide the open API for the consumers for to store the data, to analyze it, and to visualize it. ThingSpeak is one such IoT service that lets user to access the cloud for storing or processing their data. And in this case, we are using two important protocols. In the ThingSpeak, the first protocol is the HTTP. HTTP stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol, where we will have the request and response. Another protocol we are using MQTT. MQTT stands for Message Queuing Telemetry Transport Protocol. There we can have the publish and subscribe. In the upcoming PPT I'm going to explain in detail about the MQTT. ThingSpeak is an IoT platform that enables you to collect, store, analyze, visualize, and act on that particular data from the sensors, or it may be the actuator, using the microcontrollers Arduino, Raspberry Pi, BeagleBone Black. ThingSpeak act as an IoT platform for data collection and analytics that serves as a bridge connecting edge node devices such as the temperature and humidity, or you can the ultrasonic sensor also. Okay. In this scenario, I have taken IoT end-to-end architecture. First, I am going to consider the temperature and humidity sensor data, and I'm collecting the temperature and humidity sensor with the help of a Node MCU. And within this Node MCU, I'm having the Wi-Fi model. Through the Wi-Fi model, I'm sending the temperature and humidity data sensor to the cloud service with a name ThingSpeak, and it is going to show you, visualize the value of the temperature and humidity, and it will give you the report. Okay, what is the temperature value at 3 o'clock? What is the temperature value at 3:05 p.m.? Like that way, you will get the data of around 1 month or 1 year. You can store the data within this particular cloud service. Okay, ThingSpeak features. All-purpose data storage and retrieval can be done with the help of a ThingSpeak feature. We'll have the, even with the help of a social network like tweet, you can send the notification to your tweet. What is the measured temperature and humidity data you are getting, and you can push the data from the devices. Use data in application. The data types will have the sensor data, text data, geolocation data, and you can visualize having the chart, or you can have the maps. And okay, ThingSpeak users will have the do it yourself with the help of ThingSpeak. Okay, you can have the very much important applications like store the data, and process the data, and visualize it here. First, I will move towards the channel creation using the ThingSpeak. First, all of you go to the web link https colon forward slash to forward slash thingspeak.com. Okay, ThingSpeak. Okay, first we should sign it. First, you should, those who are not having the account in the ThingSpeak, first you should create the account in the ThingSpeak. Already have created the account in the ThingSpeak. Okay, you'll get the information like this. You should mention your name. First, you should mention your mail ID, then the name, then you should provide the password, then the country, then the profile name, the first name and the last name. Then afterwards, you should continue. Here I am entering to the ThingSpeak cloud service. In my ThingSpeak cloud service, I have created a different channels. In order to create a new channel, you should click on the new channel. In order to create a new channel, first you should click on the new channel. In my case, I have already created a channel. I am clicking on classroom temperature and humidity monitoring system and clicking on that one. Okay, I will show to the channel setting. In the channel setting, first we will have the percentage complete. Then for each individual channel, after creating a channel, the ThingSpeak, they will provide you the individual channel ID. Okay, this is the channel ID. Then you should give the channel name. Okay, in my case, I have taken classroom temperature and humidity monitoring system. And which are all the parameters you are sending from the temperature and humidity sensor to this particular cloud service. Okay, I have to be very much careful while providing the field name. In this example, I am sending a two values. One is temperature value, the second one is humidity value. I am sending these two parameters to the cloud service. You should mention. Okay, you can provide the some other values like that. In this example, I have taken only the two fields, field number 1 temperature, field number 2 humidity. And also you can provide the location also by adding longitude and latitude of the respective area. Then you should save that channel. Then afterwards, I am moving towards the API key. API stands for a application programming interfacing key. In order to use this channel, you will have the two API. One is write API key, another one is read API key. Okay, in this scenario, I will take the write API key. Means I am sending a data from sensor to the node MCU, and within the sensor, within the node MCU, we will have the Wi-Fi model. Through Wi-Fi, I am sending sensor and temperature values, two values to the ThingSpeak cloud service. That's why I am adding and I am writing the data. That's why I am copying this value. First, I will open the code with respect to ThingSpeak. Okay, this is the code with respect to the example sending a temperature and humidity values to the ThingSpeak cloud service. As you know, first we should initialize the values. What are all the libraries you are using? Okay, in that case, first already you have installed the library DST, but you should install the ThingSpeak. Okay, in order to install the ThingSpeak, the process will have first we should go to the sketch, then afterwards we should include the library, then add zip library. Already I have installed the ThingSpeak, means you should select the ThingSpeak Arduino master. Okay, this is the library we are using for this example. Then you should select that library, then you should click on open. After clicking on the open, you will get the libraries which are installed in the Arduino IDE. They are going to display in the example section. In the example, you will get the ThingSpeak. Okay, the final one, what you are having, the ThingSpeak. Next, first, in order to fetch the temperature and humidity data, you need a two libraries, that is the dst.h and Adafruit sensor.h. Then, in order to send the temperature and humidity through Wi-Fi model to cloud service, ThingSpeak cloud service, you need these three libraries. In order to initialize the ThingSpeak cloud service, you need ThingSpeak.h. In order to initialize the Wi-Fi module within Node MCU, you need these two libraries. Then afterwards, I'm fetching the temperature and humidity data using a GPIO pin 14. That's why I have defined hash define DHT pin number with a GPIO pin 14. And in my case, I have taken the DHT type 22. Then here I have taken DHT within the library. I have mentioned the DHT pin number with a type. In my case, I'm using the Wi-Fi model in order to create a connection between the Node MCU to the ThingSpeak cloud service. I need a Wi-Fi credentials. For that reason, I'm mentioning SSID, the username with a password. Then, in order to send the temperature and humidity data value to the ThingSpeak cloud service, I should mention these two values. One with a channel ID, another one with a API key. You will get these two in the channel ID. You will get the number, and in the API keys, you will have the two API keys. In my case, I am writing the sensor values, temperature and humidity to the ThingSpeak cloud service. That's why I have taken, copied the right API key, have pasted here. And which are all the values you are sending? You should mention the field name. In the previous case, you have mentioned in the channel setting. In the channel setting, you have provided two field names, temperature and the humidity. The same thing you should mention in the example, temperature and the humidity. Then in the setup section, there you should consider the baud rate. Then afterwards, you should initialize the DHT.begin. Then afterwards, is it the Wi-Fi is connected to the IoT cloud service or not? Okay, based on that one, connecting to the respective SSID, and you should begin the Wi-Fi by providing the SSID name and the password. Then you should check the status of the Wi-Fi, it is connected or not, like that. Then in the loop section, you should mention the temperature and humidity values by taking these two instructions. We are fetching the temperature and humidity value using these instructions. Then the very much important thing, you should write the temperature and humidity values using this instruction. ThingSpeak dot writing the fields. First, we will have the my channel number. Already we have provided the channel number. This one, my channel number. Then afterwards, we should provide the field number 1 with a name, temperature, and we will have the my right API key. The same thing, you have provided the field number 2 with a name, humidity. Okay, these are the explanation with respect to the code section. Now I will connect. Okay, already I have connected the DHT sensor with Node MCU. Now I will run the code. In the tool menu, first I should select the board. Node MCU I have selected. Next in the port, I have selected the COM3 port. Then afterwards, I should verify the code by clicking on a tick button. Compilation is over. Now I will upload the code to the Node MCU. Okay, done uploading. Now I should observe the data in the private view. Now observe it. Here I have created the two fields. As we mentioned in the channel setting, the field one, it is showing the temperature value. We will have the x-axis and the y-axis. Along y-axis, it is displaying the date. Along y-axis, it is displaying the parameter. In the first field, it is showing the temperature. In the second field, it is showing the humidity value. Now, okay, on 5th January at timings around 3:15 10 second, I got the humidity value of around 70. At 3:15 34 second, I got the temperature value of around 27 degrees Celsius. If you are mentioning longitude and latitude of your respective area, it is showing the another field with the name channel location. I am refreshing this ThingSpeak cloud service. Okay, it is taking some time. Okay, like that you will get the temperature and humidity value in the ThingSpeak cloud service. In the previous, I have taken the mobile IoT. Using Blink app, we can control the n number of microcontrollers over the Blink server. In the second example, I have taken the ThingSpeak cloud service where we can store the data, process the data, visualize the data. Like that, you will get the parameters value, temperature and humidity. Like that, you can create for some other parameters by adding fields. Like that, you will get the values. You will get the values for temperature and humidity like that, where you can store the data of the temperature and humidity for 1 day, or you can store the data for 1 month or for 1 year also. That is the main biggest advantage of using the ThingSpeak cloud service. Next, I am moving towards Okay, one of the important application Adafruit Cloud Service. And in this example, I am using MQTT protocol. MQTT stands for a Message Queuing Telemetry Transport Protocol. Once again, in this example, I am considering the temperature and humidity sensor data. Okay, this is the scenario. First, I will consider the temperature and humidity data. I am fetching the two values through the Node MCU to the Adafruit IO Cloud Service. Previous case have taken ThingSpeak Cloud Service. In this example, I am going to consider the Adafruit IO Cloud Service. Then, with the help of a MQTT, I am forwarding the same data to the mobile using MQTT dashboard app, okay, which is available in the Android app, where you will get the field name. And also we are going to learn about the what do you mean by the MQTT. Nowadays most of the social network, like even you can consider the Facebook Messenger and also the WhatsApp also, it is depends on the MQTT protocol. Okay, this is the scenario here I have taken. Based on that one, first I am fetching the temperature and humidity data from the DHT sensor using microcontroller Node MCU, and afterwards I am forwarding the parameters to the Adafruit IO Cloud Service, and I will save the two parameters value. Then with the help of a MQTT protocol, I will forward the same values to my mobile using MQTT dashboard. Okay, here I have explained about how to install the library manager, that is the board manager, to the Arduino IDE. I have explained all these things. First, I should create a Adafruit IO Cloud Service. Okay, please all of you go to this particular link, https colon forward slash two forward slash io.adafruit.com forward slash. Okay, this is the front page of a Adafruit IO Cloud Service. Like this you will get. Then afterwards, please click on you should create a account in the Adafruit IO. Okay, you should sign up. Then you should provide the first name, the last name, the email ID, the username, and the password. Then you should create an account in the Adafruit IO. Because already I'm having the account in the Adafruit IO, that's why I'm clicking on sign in. Those who are not having the account, you should click on the get started for free. Those who are not having the account in the Adafruit IO, you should click on get started for free. Then you should provide your first name, last name, mail ID, username, and password. Then afterwards, you should create an account in the Adafruit IO. I'm having account in the Adafruit IO. Then I'm signing. The dashboard of Adafruit IO looks like this. The dashboard of Adafruit IO looks like this. At the initial stage, you should click on the new dashboard. I already created a new dashboard. Okay, you should create a new dashboard with a name. Okay, in this example, I have taken live temperature monitoring, and you should give the description. Then you should create a new dashboard. I have already created, that's why I'm clicking on this one, live temperature monitoring, and clicking on this one. Then afterwards, here I am measuring the two parameter. The first one is temperature value. The second one is humidity value. In order to add the widgets, as you see in the Blink app, there also will have the widgets. Here also will have the widgets. In order to add the widgets in the Adafruit dashboard, you should click at the right hand. You will have the below mark dashboard edit controls. You just click on that one. Then afterwards, you should click on the edit layout. Okay, first I will remove these two. Then I'm clicking on this one. Okay, after creating the dashboard, then click plus symbol. Okay, in this section, observe it carefully. In the feed section, you will have the view all. I'm going to consider like this. First, I will go to the profile. Okay, wait. IO. Okay, in the IO, first I should select the this value and clicking on this one. Then afterwards I should select the feeds, and initially first I'm selecting the temperature. Wait. First I am signing into the Adafruit IO. Then you should click on create new block. In the create new block, please select on the gauge option. In the gauge option, you will get the different types of field names. Already have created a n number of field names. First, I should select the temperature, clicking on the temperature. Then the next step, okay, in this case, I'm going to measure the temperature. Once again, I will take it as a TEMPERATURE, that is the temperature, and the gauge maximum value, here I have taken 0 is the minimum value, the maximum value is 100, I have taken, then I'm going to create block. Okay, it will display like that. Next, once again, I'm going to create one more block by clicking on this one, and one more gauge I'm going to select in order to measure the humidity value. Then I'm clicking on the humidity, then go to the next step. Okay, if you are not having any kind of a field name, you should type the field. Then next step, then I'm measuring the humidity value. Then I've taken minimum value is 0, the maximum value is 100. Then I'm clicking on the create block. Edit layout. Here I'm dragging this one, I'm inserting that. Then I'm saving the layout. As you see, in this example, I have taken two fields, one with a name temperature, another one with a name humidity. Like that. Designing a dashboard. I have taken a gauge option. Then afterwards, to check the field you have just created and click next step. Okay, if any of the field is not present, you should type that one. Then afterwards, you should click it. Then okay, you should get the AIO key. In order to get the AIO key, you should click on My Key. In the My Key section, you will get the username and active key. You should copy this key, and as well as you should note down the username and active key with respect to this dashboard. In this example, I have taken a dashboard with a name live temperature monitoring. Okay, first I will go to the code section. I will click on temperature sensor. Okay, this is the code part related to the Adafruit IO cloud service. First, you should initialize the code. As you know, within the node MCU, we'll have the ESP Wi-Fi model, ESP8266 Wi-Fi model. For that reason, I'm initializing this one. In order to use the Adafruit Cloud IO, in the previous case, I have taken ThinkSpeak library. In this example, I'm using Adafruit IO Cloud service. For that reason, I should use the Adafruit MQTT.h and Adafruit MQTT client.h. In order to install this library, the same process, first we should go to the sketch, then go to the include library, then add zip library, and where you have downloaded that particular library. In my part, I have downloaded the Adafruit MQTT library master. Then you should click on that one, Adafruit MQTT library master and Adafruit sensor master. You should select both and you should click on open. Then you will get in the file, under the file you will have the example. At the below you will get Adafruit MQTT, the library. Because within this Adafruit you will have the libraries related to MQTT protocol, all these things. Then In this example, I have taken the sensor DHT sensor. First, I should initialize it by providing hash include DHT.h, and I am fetching the sensor temperature and humidity parameters using the DHT sensor at the pin number D5. For the pin number 5, you will have the GPIO 14 and the type DHT22. And I am sending the two parameters temperature and humidity using ESP8266 Wi-Fi model. To transfer the information, you need the Wi-Fi credentials. For that reason, I am providing a Wi-Fi credential with a SSID and the password. Then this one is the very much important thing. In order to send the data, you need the Adafruit server. This is the server name io.adafruit.com. And in order to send the data over the port, this is the server port 1883, and the AIO username and key. You will get this one at the My Key menu. After clicking the My Key menu, you will get the username and the activation key with respect to the dashboard what you have created in the Adafruit IO. Okay, this is the username and this is the active key. And you should copy both username and active key and you should paste it. In the program part, you should copy and paste the username and key. Then in my case, I'm taking the node MCU as a publisher, means I'm publishing the data. As you know, in the MQTT can be used as a publisher and subscriber. Okay. First, before moving towards the uh, coding part, what do you mean by the MQTT? MQTT stands for a Message Queuing Telemetry Transport Protocol. It is just like a publish and subscribe message. For example, if I consider WhatsApp, in the WhatsApp I have created one group, and in this particular group you will have the 10 members. Adafruit WhatsApp will be acts like a broker. The WhatsApp will be acts like a broker, and within that group some persons will be acts like a subscriber and some persons will be acts like a publisher. Okay, I want to deliver some message and that particular message will be seen by the remaining members. Okay, I am publishing the message in within that particular group. I am going to consider it as a publisher, and the remaining members, they are going to consider it as a subscriber. In some of the case, if I am having 3 members within this particular group, message member 1, he wants to give some information related to VTU, related to the notification, and he will provide the information within that particular group. And the member 1 will be considered it as a publisher. The remaining 2 members will be considered it as a subscriber. And the member 3, he wants to acknowledge the member 1 by giving the message thank you. Now the member 3 will be acts like a publisher and the member 1 and member 2 will be acts like a subscriber. Okay, this is what we are going to call by the name a publish and subscriber based protocol. With respect to HTTP, there what happens, we'll have the request and response. But with respect to MQTT, we'll have the publish and subscribe based protocol. The purpose of using this MQTT is it is a lightweight. And in order to converse between the members, you need a topic name. And the Facebook Messenger is also one of the best example for MQTT protocol. And in order to message between the two person, the profile name will be acts like a topic name. If you know the topic, means if you know the profile name, then only you can chat between the two person. Okay, here I have taken one scenario. In this particular scenario, I am taking temperature and humidity sensor, and the MQTT means the Adafruit IO will be acts like the broker, and have taken the another two users, one a laptop, another one with a mobile device. Now I am fetching the temperature and humidity data from the sensor and the node MCU. The node MCU, it is fetching the temperature and humidity data, and it is going to publish to the Adafruit IO cloud service. If I have subscribed with a topic name, then only I will get the temperature and humidity data. If I am not subscribed to that particular topic name, then I will not get the temperature and humidity data. Okay, in order to get the temperature and humidity data, first you should install the MQTT dashboard. Before moving towards this one, first I will explain the coding part. After providing the server name, server port, username, and AIO key to the program part, then I should mention set up the MQTT client class by passing in the Wi-Fi client and MQTT server and login details. Okay, like this way you should provide. Then in order to publish the two datas, one is temperature data, another one is humidity data. Observe it carefully. Here I am publishing the data Adafruit underscore MQTT underscore publish. The first field is sensor 1, the second one is sensor underscore 2. Where I am publishing to the MQTT dashboard, first I have taken Adafruit underscore MQTT underscore publish, which protocol I am using, and MQTT, and having the username, that is the Ravitej, and which feed name you have provided. I think you will get the feed name here. Block information. In the block information, you will get the field name. Observe it. At the last part, you will get API URL Ravitej. This is the username with a feed and the field name temp. And the same thing with respect to the second field humidity, edit block, block information. After clicking on the block information, you will get username Ravitej feeds with a feed name value humidity. You should cross check it now. In my case, I'm having the temperature and humidity value. Temp have taken. In this case, have taken. Here I have taken small letter T. You should mention small letter T. Wait, the temp value have taken the feed name. Capital T here. Sorry. Okay, this is the feed name. TEMP, capital TEMP. And the block information, in this case, I have taken the field name humidity. Okay, these two are the field name. One is TEMP, temperature with respect to temperature parameter. And with respect to the second field, you will get the field name. This is the field name. Okay, you should mention in order to publish that particular data. Then in order to connect the node MCU to the MQTT, you should connect this one, void MQTT underscore connect, and with the help of a Wi-Fi access point, you should connect, where you will have to provide the user ID with a SSID and the password. You should connect this one. Then you should publish the two data. One, the temperature after reading the temperature value. Then afterwards, reading the humidity value, you should store in the respective fields, temperature and the humidity. Then afterwards, you will publish the each individual field name. The sensor one with respect to first field, temp. The sensor two with respect to second field, humidity. Like that, we are sending the data. Okay, here I am connecting to the MQTT for every 5 seconds. Already have created the widgets under the Adafruit IO. Then parallelly, you should create the widgets under the MQTT dashboard in your mobile. Okay, in your mobile, please install the MQTT dashboard. Okay, this is the app you should install. A MQTT dashboard, and you will get like this in the Play Store. Okay, you should install this MQTT dashboard. Okay, like this you will get. After clicking on this MQTT dashboard, you should click on this plus button. Then before mentioning this one, first you should mention MQTT dashboard. First I am selecting on this one, then edit option. In the edit option, you have to be very much careful. You should mention the client ID. Give the name as your respective name. In my case, I have provided Ravi Tej. Then I have provided the server name io.adafruit.com. Okay, I request everyone, please all of you install MQTT dashboard. Okay, you will get the temperature and humidity value in your mobile. I request everyone to install the MQTT dashboard app in your mobile. Okay, the MQTT dashboard app, it looks like this. Then you should click on this one. Then you should mention client ID. The server name is small letter io.adafruit.com. Then port name number 1883. Then you should copy the username and password. In this case, you should copy this one. For the username and password, you should copy this one. Username and password is with respect to the Adafruit IO. You will get here. This is the username and this is the password. This is the activation key you will get. Okay, then afterwards I'm saving this one. Then I'm clicking on this one. In this example, the MQTT dashboard will be acts like a subscribe because the node MCU, it is publishing the data to the Adafruit IO. The node MCU will be acts like a publisher, but I should get the data. For that reason, I should subscribe to that particular cloud service, that is io.adafruit.io. That's why in this example, I'm editing this one and I'm providing the name as temperature. Okay, you can provide any value temperature, but you have to be very much careful. Okay, once again I will repeat. After clicking on this one, you will get the two section. One is subscribe, another one is the publish. You should select the subscribe and please click on the add button. There you will get, clicking on this one. If you have not created, you should add the plus sign. In my case, I have created the two values, one with respect to temperature. First, I am clicking on this one. By long press, please long press it. You will get three sections. One is delete, the second one is edit. Okay, then afterwards you will have the copy. Edit. In the friendly name, I have provided the temperature and I have provided the topic. In the topic, you have to be very much careful. In the first one, you should mention the username. Second, you will have the feeds and what is the feed name you have provided. In this case, I have taken the feed name as temp. Then you should save it. Same thing with respect to second one. I am measuring the humidity value. That's why I am providing it as a humidity. Topic name, you have to be very much careful. Ravitej is the username, then afterwards feeds, and the feed name is what? Humidity. Then you should save it. Now I'm moving towards the code part. Then I have already connected the temperature sensor to the node MCU. Then first I will go to the tool. I have selected the node MCU. Then I have selected the port. Then I am verifying the code by clicking on the tick button. Okay, in this case, what I have done? First, I have taken the DHT sensor and I have connected to the node MCU. The node MCU, within this node MCU, we are having the Wi-Fi model with the help of a MQTT protocol. Here I am publishing to the Adafruit IO cloud service. Here also I am using MQTT protocol. Here also I am using MQTT protocol. And the node MCU collecting the two parameters value and feed to the Adafruit IO Cloud service. And this Adafruit IO Cloud service will be acts like a broker. Now I have already downloaded the MQTT dashboard in my mobile, and now this particular mobile will be acts like a subscriber, and this node MCU will be acts like a publisher because it is fetch the two parameter and it is publishing to the Adafruit IO Cloud service. And now I am subscribed to the topic. Here I have taken the two topics name, one with a topic name temp, another one with a topic name humidity. If you know the topic name, then only you can get the data. I have already compiled that one. Now I am uploading the code. Now everyone observe it carefully. The temperature now I am getting 27 degrees Celsius and the 73% of humidity. In this case what happens? I have collected the temperature and humidity from the DHT sensor with the help of a node MCU. Within the node MCU will have the Wi-Fi model. With the help of a MQTT protocol, I am sending the temperature and humidity data to this Adafruit IO Cloud service. Okay, this is one part, and the same data I within should get the same data to my mobile. Now the mobile will be actually like a subscriber. Now observe it carefully. Now I am getting the same data, the temperature and humidity to my mobile. Okay, where we can use this one? This time I am doing the project to my students using illegal tree cutting prevention and monitoring system. In that case, what happens if any one of the person is cutting tree in the forest, then the particular information first it will send to the cloud service, and most of the persons they are having portable device like mobile within them, then they can also get the notification. In that example, I can use such kind of a application. Means in this scenario, I have taken the MQTT protocol. It acts as a very much important role. Why? Because MQTT is having a lightweight protocol compared to the HTTP protocol. Like this, I got the data in the Adafruit IO Cloud service, as well as I will get the same data within my mobile using the MQTT dashboard, but you should provide the topic name. Okay, dear participants, if you are having any queries, okay, in the chat section you can ask. Okay, now I will forward the presentation to Mr. Benak Patel. Okay, thank you everyone. Okay, I will wind up the session. Okay, thank you all.
Good afternoon, participants. Thank you for tuning in. So I hope, if at all, I hope the sessions were clear to you. If at all, if you are getting any doubts, please put it in the WhatsApp. And if you are in need of any kind of program files or library files, please do ask. So let's call it a day, and let's meet tomorrow. That is day 3, wherein we'll start with Linux commands, that is Linuxification by Dr. Chetan sir, and followed by how to make use of Python commands in Raspberry Pi, as well as how to interface various sensors in Raspberry Pi. So thanks for tuning in.
Okay, thank you, sir.